So let's say, for example, you have right now a $5,000 credit card, okay? That's the balance on this card. You're paying 25% interest annually, and that's about $100 minimum payment every single month you're actually responsible for paying. Now, all of a sudden, by magic, you actually get an offer in the mail from a balance transfer credit card. And you're like, yo, it must have been my luck. It's not luck, it's marketing. Your information has been sold, thus the company knows about it, and thus now they're sending you offers, directed offers to you. Now, the offer says this: we're gonna give you 21 months to transfer your debt over to us, and you get to pay it off in 21 months, and we won't charge you any interest whatsoever for those first 21 months. And you might say, well, this sounds like a great deal. Over here, I'm paying, for example, $100 per month in interest, but over here, I'm gonna be paying $0 in interest for the first 21 months. This saves me a bunch of money. And the only catch is you have to pay a 3% fee for the entire balance transfer. Now, that's not a big deal because right now you're paying $100 as a minimum payment, and when you take 3% of 5,000, that's only about $150 or so. So it's really not a big deal. So why is this attractive? What is the problem with it? And what exactly is a balance transfer credit card? I'm going to go into all the details in this video. Now, do me a favor, guys, and actually smash the like button. I appreciate it a ton. Now, the first thing is this, guys, okay? A balance transfer credit card, I'm not going to complicate it. It's basically just a credit card that is designed to actually get people that are in debt in some way to transfer their debt over to this credit card, and potentially that company be the one that's actually going to get all that interest from you going further. It's kind of like a long-term investment, okay? They're actually betting that you're not going to pay it off in that introductory period, and that you're actually going to keep the balance, and you're going to continue to pay them and pay them and pay them. And yes, it could actually turn against them if you actually pay, but for the most part, they get 3% outright. And if you don't pay them, well, you might become a customer for something else. You might get another credit card with them, or another product, or a loan, or a mortgage, whatever it is, okay? You have a customer, a prospect to get other things. That is what a balance transfer is actually good for. Now, what is the problem here, Tommy? I still don't understand, okay? They're giving me an offer. If I'm smart and I take advantage of it, I walk away without paying any interest. Isn't that great? Well, the answer is this, okay? You might think that you're actually going to walk away dilly-dally free, okay? But what happens is usually this. What's actually going on when you actually open up a balance transfer credit card, whether it's an offer, whether you've been pre-approval, whatever, you basically just opened up another line of credit. That is what's actually going on. So let's say, for example, you have credit card A, you owe $5,000 a year, and now you actually get pre-approved for a balance transfer credit card, and then you basically apply, and they say, hey, we're actually going to give you a balance of, or a credit line of $7,000. And you say, well, that's awesome. That's more than I had over here. So now you say, I want to transfer the balance from credit card A over to credit card B, your new card, the balance transfer card. And by the way, it doesn't have to be a credit card. It could also be, for example, hospital loans. It could be any debt overall, even collections. And they could actually just basically pay that off by sending them a check. And basically now you're in here and the debt is over here. That's the whole idea, okay? So what happens is this, okay? You say, I want to transfer balance from this card over to here. They say, okay, just pay us a 3% fee. You pay the 3% fee. That's $150. They send over a check to your credit card, okay? Now that's fully paid off. The balance on credit card A is basically zero. The balance on your new balance credit card is basically $5,000, or whatever the balance here basically was. That's the idea. Now, what actually happened here, okay? You went from having a credit line of $5,000 to having a credit line of basically $12,000. Remember, so if you got in value so far, I'm gonna ask for a favor. Subscribe to the channel, because only like 20% of the people that watch are actually subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe right now, because I have a lot more content. And having a credit line of basically $12,000. Remember, they actually gave you $7,000, and you have 21 months to pay that off, okay, without any interest. And you might think this is awesome, okay? What I'm gonna do is basically pay this off and never look back. But what usually happens is this, and I'm sad to say this, okay, but what usually happens is this, okay? you have credit card A now, which is basically empty, and you have credit card B. All right. And what happens is basically you say, well, this one is free. You start using it again. Okay. And before you know it, this goes right back up to 5,000 or 3,000 or 4,000. And this one, you're barely making any real payments or any dent to it. Remember, they gave you 5,000. The balance transfer credit card is still a credit card. You can still use it to buy stuff. And it still gave you 2,000 extra dollars and you actually need it. So now you might use that for some things else, okay? And before you know it, the 21 months have gone by and now you owe over $10,000 overall. You owe credit card A. You also owe credit card B. Credit card B is saying, yep, we got him. Now we're actually collecting interest payments every single month from you. And credit card A is saying, well, he paid it off, but now he's back to pay now. So I guess we win also. So what is the right way to go about this? And Tommy, have you ever done this? The answer is I owed about, wait for it, $13,000 in credit card debt. And I actually used balance transfer credit cards to actually help me clear all the debt. Now, I was not one of the people that actually went ahead and basically cleared credit card A, transferred to credit card B, and then build up a balance back in credit card A. What I did was this: I followed this 3-step system, okay? The first step is you want to set for yourself some realistic goals based on how long they're actually going to give you interest free. So overall, let's say I actually owe $5,000, right? That's how much I actually owe. I'm going to divide this number by how many months they're actually going to give me. So divided by 21 in this case. By the way, what credit card am I actually talking about? I'm actually talking about the Citi Simplicity Balance Transfer Credit Card. They actually offer 21 months to pay interest-free, 0% APR, and even 12 months to actually buy things and not get charged any interest. Obviously, they're doing this for a reason. You transfer the balance over, you get 21 months to pay it off, but you also get 12 months to buy other crap and actually build up even a bigger balance. Don't be stupid. Don't fall for that, okay? So now, I know that per month, I need to pay about $240 to be debt-free in 21 months, okay? That's the idea. And that's how I would actually do it. Now, for me personally, I would say, well, if this is actually very doable, I would stick to it. If it's actually a little bit less than I can basically do, I would actually lower it. And basically, even if I end with a balance, okay, at least I was actually realistic, okay? Now, for me personally, I actually paid more towards it to be able to pay it off a lot faster. I actually paid off $13,000 in credit card debt in 12 months, okay? Because I actually fell for that trap where Discover sent me a credit card and they were like, hey, we're gonna give you, I think, 18 months of purchase-free interest, and I went crazy, okay? I went crazy, and what happened is I maxed out everything. Then it was like, I think it was 18 months, right? So I spent like 6 months doing some crazy stuff, and then I had 12 months, and I was like, yo, I need to pay all this in 12 months, and I basically was able to cover everything in 12 months. I think at a point, I had to transfer balance over to the balance transfer card, but I was actually able to do it, which actually saved me a ton of money, but it was only because I was smart. So step number 2 is basically, once you transfer the balance, well, close credit card A. All right, close it, because you don't want to be at risk at rebuilding this actual credit line and to actually get into double the debt. You actually want to clear that. And then lastly, all right, the balance on the credit card, don't use it to get into more debt. Only use it to actually pay off the debt fast and be done with it. And once you're done with all the debt, my advice would be a 100% just close the credit cards overall and don't get back into those problems, okay? Ever since I became debt-free and I don't have any credit cards, I have no method, no way of getting into debt anymore. So it's not something I worry about. But as long as you have that possibility, that availability to actually say, I'm going to use this credit card for this or that, for this emergency or that emergency, you're always going to be going back into debt and going right back into where you landed. I think the Bible says a dog is always going to return to his vomit, and that's just disgusting, okay? So if debt is actually getting you into trouble over and over again and you're going back to it, well, that's just stupid and nonsense, okay? You actually want to avoid that. So yes, okay, understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to bring your balance over, to hopefully spend more money, to be trapped with them, and to pay them a bunch of interest. But if you're smart, what you're actually going to do is say, I'm going to use you, and I'm going to take advantage fully I'm going to close credit card A. And once I'm done with you, I'm also going to close you and I'm going to be done with it. So set for yourself achievable goals so you're actually able to do this as fast as possible. Guys, thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. There are obviously other balance with the credit cards out there. So if you know a few of them, comment them down below. If you want a full video on the offers out there, let me know and I'll actually get to work. Up here is another video, and this video is actually made possible by the supporters over at Patreon. Here is a list of their names. I appreciate it a ton. If you actually want to join us on Patreon and support the channel, the link is going to be down below. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified. Peace.